Welcome to another episode of Unraveling Success. I'm your host, Beth DeLaForest, and today I am joined by ShaRee Antenucci. And if I had that last name, I would feel so fancy. ShaRee lives in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, with her husband, James, and she owns a business named ShaRee Decor, which has been in existence for 22 years. So she knows a thing or two about design. Previous occupations, ShaRee was in sales and marketing for a wine and spirits broker, which would be so fun. I bet you know a lot about wine, and that makes me like you and think we would be friends.
Right.
In her spare time, ShaRee loves painting, music, and dancing, and loves to play games, especially cards. So you are fun to be around, and you like to drink wine, which really makes me think we'd be great friends.
Right.
So welcome, ShaRee. I'm so excited to talk with you, to learn a little bit about your journey. But let's get started and have you share what is your personal definition of success?
So my personal definition of success is not only the financial gain, but it's finding that career that you love, something that gives you self-fulfillment, and
Mhm.
bonuses that can make others happy.
Yeah, I love that. I love that one of the elements of your definition of success is others focused. It's also bringing joy to other people, and I think that's actually oftentimes forgotten. Is I think the times when I've been happiest in life is actually when I'm serving other people more
Ex-
rather than being self-focused.
Yeah,
So
there's such a great reward in uh, you know, designing a home for someone, whether it be, through renovation and decoration, and them walking in and just being absolutely thrilled with their place. And sometimes I've even had people shed tears, and that is
mm,
the biggest reward. And that to me says, wow, I was successful at listening to my clients and really ultimately gave them the home that they dreamed of.
yeah,
Mm,
yeah, I can imagine that would be so much fun.
yeah.
And you probably also feel a little bit of the weight of the responsibility of making the dream come a reality. Although I'd imagine after 22 years of doing this, that's probably become a little easier over time.
You would think, but but everybody, everybody has, their own ideal of what they want and everything else. So each client as an individual,
Mm-hmm.
it's easy and sometimes it's just as difficult as the first job that you had, just outlining every spec and every last detail. And
Yeah,
it can be, they're all challenging, let's just say that.
right. Yeah, I can imagine there's a fair amount of pressure there. So, share with me a little bit about what inspired you to become a designer.
Mhm. I moved here like 24 years ago, and coming from sales and marketing, I said, well, I moved here, I have a new start in Florida.
Yeah,
What do I want to do? So do I
yeah.
get back into that business, or do I want to start something different?
Mm-hmm.
It was never a dream of mine, never thought of it until I was looking at different job opportunities and whatnot, and I came across working for a high end furniture gallery. I said, oh, that sounds like fun, right?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
it wasn't. I
Okay.
fail, but what happened was it actually it was school to me. So I learned all about furniture and all of the everything to do with scale and all of this, and
Mm-hmm.
that just led me to moving on to schooling and really getting involved and really loving this industry. and I just kept moving forward. It was just one step at a time, but yeah, it was wonderful.
Yeah. That's so how long of a time between when you started working at the furniture store to when you started your own business? What was the time frame there? How many, like how long?
So it was probably, I'm going to say, like three years. The furniture gallery I was at, and then I was fortunate to find an investor to that got me started in flipping condos,
Yeah,
which was
yeah.
amazing experience. I was thrown into the wolves, but I learned everything that I needed to know about renovations, and that was a very, very challenging, but it was such a great experience. And he believed in myself and my partner at the time, and we did that for approximately a year with three
Okay.
high end condos that we renovated and decorated and sold for like in that stack or that with that floor plan, like for the highest dollar amount in some cases, which led several realtors into calling me and saying, hey, can you do this for me? Can you help stage? Can you help do this? So what happened is, after that approximately 3 years, then I said, you know what, I think I'm ready to get out on my own. So
Yeah.
uh, it was
That is so fun.
yes, yes,
Um so I bought a little condo when I was 22,
right,
and I I flipped it. I flipped it, and I lived in it
right,
while all the work was being done, and most of it was done by me and my now husband, who was just my boyfriend back then, and my mom. And it was actually what ended up paying for like the what I earned off of that was what paid for our wedding.
right,
So
yeah.
yeah, it was fun. It was super fun.
Yeah. If the market was
Yeah.
good, it was just, it worked
Yeah.
out at that time. It was very fortunate, but it was like going to school. So it was just,
For
my profits weren't huge on that, but it was schooling. It was learning,
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's also like tuition, right? I mean, and you did make money off of it, even though
right.
you know, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That I really like the journey. I mean, that how you
Mhm.
by happenstance started at the furniture store, which just organically pointed you in a direction, and then at the end of the day, you were brave enough to roll the dice on yourself and go out on your own. So
Mhm.
really taking, but you took the time to lay a good foundation so that when you did go out on your own, you had the relationships, you had the knowledge
Mhm.
to be able to really step fully into your own business. So very cool. I like that a lot. So one of the things that you wrote down, I have everybody fill out a little form so I can understand how to bring out like your story the best. And um, I, you wrote down organization and creativity
Mhm.
were some of your keys, to success.
Mhm.
And that really stuck out to me because in my experience, I have noticed
Mhm.
that people that are really creative are oftentimes not organized
Mhm.
at all.
Mhm.
And I think, if you can have systems and organization around creativity, it is the way to kind of add turbo boost
Mhm.
to the creative skill sets that someone would have. Because really, without that structure and the organization, it just is just a hot mess and you can't do much with it, right? So, tell me a little bit about. I can imagine that, combining creativity with organization, that you have created a really nice process from when a job starts
Mhm.
to comes to fruition. So do you want to talk to us a little bit about like how that typically works with you, or keys that you found that make that process successful, the creative process successful?
Mhm. Well, first off, the organization. If you don't have organizational skills in this business, it would be a nightmare. There are,
Mhm.
again, so many details. there are so many products that you're ordering. Again, whether it's renovation or decoration, you've got wallpaper, fabrics, this, that, yardage, and follow through. The organization is key. And I've heard nightmares from other designers and such that they're just, they're not paying this, they're not paying this, they're not doing this. Just, it's not that they don't have the money, but they just don't. Everything's all over. The clients are coming in. They forgot about that timeline,
Yeah.
all of that, is a number one. And it's just, it's amazing the paperwork and the billing process just for one project
Yeah.
I've got folders for each client, and
Hmm.
it's it is literally stacked full. Then I'll bag, with all of
Yeah.
but you have to have that to be successful in this business. There's
Hmm.
no way. And then on the other side of it is the creativity. Creativity, organization is number one, obviously, but then yes, you have to be creative as far as the key is to listen to your clients,
Hmm.
find what are they looking for, get into
Hmm.
their head, say, "Oh,
Yeah.
you meant monochromatic, you didn't mean." Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So
Yeah.
show me a picture of what you're looking for. But this creativity is, once you define and listen to your client and what they're looking for, it's coming up with creative ways to make it happen, especially if they are on a budget, which can make it a little bit more challenging, of course. But just the creativity is pulling it all together for them, and stepping outside the box. I don't want each
Mhm.
job to look alike. So I want, even though they, each client wants the in style is, especially in Florida, we're very coastal, but we like it a little modern, not the traditional coastal,
Mhm.
modern. This, so they can all tend to look a little bit alike. But what you want to do is make it their own, get more creative. Maybe it's
Mm.
with some personal things that they own. Let's incorporate into this. It doesn't all have to be purchased today. Let's take some of the things that
Yeah.
mean something to you and let me incorporate that. I don't care if it's an antique, if it's family photos and I do a collage. Let's get creative with some of those things to make it your place and not everybody else's.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't follow design to the degree that I know you do, but I've heard but I did actually I built a house 2 years ago.
Okay.
And so um you there's a lot of decision making that goes into it and a lot of design choices as you know. But so in that I've followed like on social media a lot of different, design things and that type of
Mhm.
and I love that kind of stuff anyway.
Mhm.
But one of the things I'm hearing, and I don't know if this rings true to you, is that in this moment, the overall theme with design, so I'm hearing, is that it's less of a what's in right now. It's more like what is you decide what is in for you. Like it's more of a personalized versus like this is what everybody's doing. I don't know if you've heard that or if you run into that or if you're still seeing real strong trends pull forward. Like you just mentioned in Florida, there's the modern coastal. But anyway, I don't know if you're seeing that people are more kind of making their own style, I guess I would say.
Here I think it's yes, there is that. I would have to say that this is usually, most of my clients, it's their second or third home or fourth home.
Hmm.
It's and when they come here because of the ocean and all that, it is, they tend to love the coastal feel. Again,
Yeah.
more modern, some may be more more traditional, but they love that. They want things light and bright.
Yeah.
With trends, we still, there are the trends, like let's say, for instance, the Calcutta Carrera quartz, oh,
Yeah.
marbles. It's
Hmm.
those trends come in, and gray. Everything,
Mhm.
everything is, everything has, that quartz top, this and that. So we do follow suit with a lot of those trends. However,
Mhm.
to your point is that the there's everybody has a personality, and you can
Yeah.
usually have a good indication of what that personality is by the way they dress.
Oh, yeah.
You'll have like the Lily Pulitzer type, style, and she wants it's usually the colors that make a big difference in the decor. So
Yeah.
it'll be like I want a peach wall color, and I want bright pinks, and I want all these colors, turquoises, all this stuff. You will find that. I have another one that's she'll go with the flow with the trends that are happening. However, she loves hot pink. So we use,
Okay.
I've got another client that her house is just full. It's coastal, it's beautiful. She loves aqua and turquoises. And
Okay.
I'm going to say that if there's not a room with those colors in it, and then we'll add a few other colors, but it's usually so their personality or them making
Mhm.
their own is
Mhm.
their favorite colors.
Yeah.
That you'll
Yeah.
find it's regardless of that style, it'll be the color palette that's used is the colors that they love. So
Yeah.
mm,
And that you articulated that much better than I did. I guess that using it like people are stamping their personality more than just straight up following
right, yeah,
trends, I could say,
yeah,
which you can do both as well.
right,
But yeah, that's that's fun.
hmm,
Which I kind of giggled when you said that because I have a lot of my walls. I did a lot of black walls in my house, which uh, at first they thought I was crazy, but turned out really good.
right.
And I'm wearing black, so that's kind of
That's it.
funny.
Yeah,
So when you said
black's
that,
hot color. So you're right there.
yeah, yeah. There's quite a few black walls in my house. So, anyway, so how do you? I can imagine as you're walking through a project, keeping clients on a timeline. What do you do to make sure that your client is prepped and given enough time to make like the next big decision that they need to make on a project?
Mhm. So I set up with every project. I set up sort of a budget, and what that includes is what's going to happen. It's here we've got demo, we've got carpentry, we've got painting, we've got plumbing, electrical, so all of that. So I outline the job. This is the
Mm-hmm.
work, if you will, or the budget scope of work. Um,
Yes.
with the scope of work comes the numbers and where we're at. But so that's the first step. So
Uh-huh.
doing? What are we going to do? And then I prioritize each step. So I just today I said I need to make decisions and I need to order the plumbing fixtures because I need the valves for the rough in. So I'm doing a master bathroom renovation. I'm framing on Monday. I've got to have the rough in for the plumber on Wednesday. Tuesday's the electrician to do his rough in, and then we're going to keep going. So it's
Mm-hmm.
advertising. I do that for the client because I know what I need, and
Yes.
they call me the drill sergeant, boom,
Good.
let's get this done. So
Yeah. Yeah. Keep moving.
I schedule everything. So I'll say, okay, today we're going to go look at tile. What do we need? Well, we need the shower walls. We need the wet floor, the dry floor, any mosaics, any accents, listellos. What are we going to be doing? Let's get all of that together. Start looking at all this because I'm going to need that in X amount of weeks for.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been doing this for so long, so I know timelines. I know what's going to happen and how much I can get done. It's
Mm-hmm.
a matter of them. It's usually, okay, I'm leaving, ShaRee, and I need this done when I come back. And it's
Yeah.
a whole renovation, and it could also be a decoration. So
Right.
then it's obviously prioritizing, well, the renovation has to come first. So let's get
Mm-hmm.
all of our selections done, lighting, plumbing, flooring, whatever it's paint colors, all of this, kitchen cabinets, countertops, whatever this is. And then we work into the into the furniture. And then,
Mm-hmm.
especially if there's a lead time on that, if it's custom orders and all that. So I take them through. I need you today. I need you this week. What's your schedule? We need to do A, B, and C to get this done in your time.
Yeah.
So that's usually what happens. Realistically, it's going to take 3 months for this, and we're going to need this for this amount of time. So we need to,
Right.
I know how fast or how much I need to work with them prior to them escaping, escaping the.
Yeah.
So,
That's awesome.
mhm.
Yeah, that is good. I know just from a building that, that's
Million.
there's a lot of pieces. Yeah. Yeah. And having that person that is keeping it organized is just, it's invaluable. So,
Mhm,
um, speaking again about trends,
mhm.
what are some ways that you stay updated on trends and like new innovations in the industry? There's so much like new stuff coming out
Right.
from an innovation in homes standpoint, but then you got the whole trends, which I feel like are two different things. But how do you keep up?
Um, well, I think, I'm fortunate enough to have a lot of different accounts with different manufacturers, fabric companies, wallpaper companies, all of this. And what they do is they're always sending me via email or something else. I'm always getting, this is the new thing today. This is happening. And just a lot of great, photos of room shots of, this and
Mhm.
so that's number one. Different sample books and things like that, catalogs that they're sending. These are some of the newest area rugs or whatever it may be, through them directly. And then also, I would say through social media. I have, could be whether it's on Facebook or Instagram or any of those. Just seeing what others are doing. I take a look at
Mhm.
some of my competition locally, and then also even going through and looking at like House has a presence, and even like Pinterest, and kind of looking if I'm looking, some client wants whatever, something they want me to design a wine room, so I will
Mhm.
on and look and see what some of the latest wine rooms, what they're doing, and how they're utilizing them. Or with some of the new homes, you'll see like a lot of these, they're taking the stairway and they're going underneath there and utilizing that space,
Mhm.
an enclosed area, and with the wine, and doing accent tiles and mosaics and things like that. And you know um different room shots or photos or different things. And I'll just take all these ideas and throw them into a book or idea book and have them take a look at it. What do you think of this? What do you think of this? And then
Mhm.
we make it our own. So
Yeah.
then I'll say, well, I like that, but I like that idea. I like that, but how about if we do this? So then, of course,
Mhm.
comes the renderings and everything else. So, but yeah, it's,
Yeah.
um, looking, yeah, just I'd say social media and through all of my correspondence with all of my accounts and stuff. I think and going to the different showrooms, looking at,
Yeah.
hey, ShaRee, let me show you this. I get invitations to different.
Mhm.
They show you what's happening, what's the newest and the latest, and so all of the above, I think.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah,
Yeah, just stay plugged into your industry.
yeah,
And which is, you know, it takes intention though, especially when you're a business owner and you have a business to run,
right.
like still staying connected and staying on the front end
Right.
of your industry is like it's a whole separate responsibility.
Hmm.
Um So, as a business owner, what has been your most challenging part in your journey and as a business owner? Like, if you're one area you feel like, oh my gosh, this part has been the hardest for me to nail down, what would you say that has been for you?
Hmm. I would say that I would say billing. I would say,
Mm-hmm.
um, structuring myself. uh,
Yeah.
competitively, um, with what the some of the other companies, local companies, are doing, um,
Hmm.
what to charge, and how to bill it, and percentages versus hourly, and sometimes even collecting, just sending that out, getting retainers. It seems like it's a challenge, or getting behind the eight ball.
Yeah.
No, 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 no. No, no. And it happens because you're so busy, and you're excited, you're doing this and that, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm behind, I've already got this much time in. So it's defining budgets, and
Yeah.
everything adds up. I'm sure, as a new homeowner building your home, all of the finishes and everything can go from here all the way, and it's like, wow,
Yeah.
I expect to spend that. I don't want to. So it's
Mhm.
just I would say money. I would say it's regardless of anything, and I try to keep my clients in right with a budget up front, and keep them in the know. This is where we're at, just so you know. If
Yeah.
that mosaic, do you know
Hmm.
as a square foot, and do you know what it means? Because
Yeah.
the rest of the bathroom, or so all of that. But I would say the numbers end of it, the money, the collecting, the charging, the billing, all of that.
Yeah. I There's a lot of moving pieces as it pertains to just the money. You know, from the budgeting to how easy it is to go over
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
the budget.
mm-hmm.
and um
Yep.
and yeah, and then just making sure that you're getting paid and you stay profitable. So there's not only is there the project part of it, but then there's the billing, but then making sure
Mm-hmm.
you're paying yourself,
Right.
that you're profitable and you're not doing this for free, right?
Yeah, it's there.
Yeah.
And it's also, it's if one of the contractors does something wrong, or something goes on, and they walk in, they say, well, I don't like the way that those wood planks were laid, or I don't like this or that, and they're like, well, I don't think I should have to pay for this. Or you get into this, there can
Yeah.
it can be very challenging, because
Hmm.
I need to pay him, but let's do this.
Yeah.
We can, there's just, there can be, when we're talking about building, renovating, decorating, there's a lot of money involved, and money
Yeah.
to people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it can become very challenging. So I just try to stay on top of that for my clients, and
Hmm.
I think that's just most important there, just to try to avoid anything
Yeah.
that's comes down the pipeline, if you will. So
Well, and with that proactive approach, it makes conflict resolution easier when everybody is already in the know, versus if you aren't doing a good job communicating and don't have clear processes, then if something does happen, then conflict resolution is harder, because when you keep people up to date and in the know, you're also, as you do that, instilling trust,
right,
because people are learning that that how you work, and that if they're staying in the know, then they yeah,
yep,
I think, like, yeah, I get that big picture, and there's a lot to it.
hmm
um so back to design, would you say you have a signature style? Like, is there a style that people are like, oh yeah, you need to go to ShaRee for this? Or do you kind of like can do anything, go anywhere? Or is it that, like, oh, you like this style, or ShaRee's totally going to be the girl that knocks it out of the park?
hmm well, I think that, I mean, I love, love, love working with clients that love color, because I love color. So
Mm-hmm.
I love, whether it's through artwork or accessories or anything else, pillows and accents and things like that. I do love color. So
Mm-hmm.
a that would be number one. But I feel that one one of the or maybe the most important thing or aspect of this is listening to my client and what they ultimately want, and then fulfilling that
Mm-hmm.
is the key to success for designers, I believe, because there's
Yeah.
people that don't ask questions. They just go on. They're going to, oh, let's just do the hottest trends. Let's just do this. Oh, well, and the client's not happy. It's like, wow, I don't
Yeah.
like this. I don't even like this color. I don't want this. So it's, I feel like I can adapt to a lot of different styles, but I would say that I do enjoy the not contemporary, but the modern designs, but with
Mm-hmm.
reality and the coastal designs. I mean, the beach, I love the blues and the turquoises and all of that. So I do love that. I do love
Yeah.
styles. Um, but I can adapt, and I have a lot of people that will sometimes they're moving from up north and they have a few things that are mean a lot to them, or they want to bring certain temperature down, and sometimes it's not my style, but I'll make it work for them. So
Mm-hmm.
um I think just overall in color, I think that's would be my style, that I can do monochromatic. um,
Yeah.
I do love adding an accent color. So
Yeah.
mm,
Yeah. I always my what I love is, and I've noticed this over time, and actually took me to building to actually even realize it, is I love high impact, like high contrast neutrals
yes.
with a ton of texture. Like my biggest thing is like texture, and like high like contrast, like moody,
Yeah.
but more neutrals. So like yeah, so
Yeah.
it's kind of interesting. Like it did take me to building in like making a Pinterest board for me to look at it and be like, oh,
That's
I'm pretty consistent about this.
it. And that's and again, that's the key, I think, to is to listening to the client, and I ask a lot of questions. That's
Yeah,
for me, the only way I'm going to make you happy is if I ask questions. So, I
yeah,
your favorite color is. I want to know, do you entertain? Do you like to watch TV? Do you like to, um, do you like to, go into a quiet space and read books? Do you like, what is it that you want to do with your space? So,
yeah,
your space, and listen as far as the decor, and you know people will there are some designers that will just not listen, and next thing you know, they're moving into a place that they don't like the decor, but more
hmm,
importantly, it's not functional for them.
yeah,
It's not.
yeah,
So yeah, it looks cool, okay, but
right,
wow, that sofa is like not comfortable. There's
yeah,
it's just it's overall the lighting's not right, or wow, we wanted to do this here, whatever it be. So I think that the defining the space of how you want to use your space is so important,
yeah,
and then make it functional for what the client is doing in that space is number one. Then let's make it pretty.
yes. And
Mhm.
I actually think that's brilliant. And I think that that is something that, most people in projects need a professional's guidance through, because I don't think that it's
Mhm.
like common sense to people. I think they need someone to actually jog their, I mean, some people would be, but I would say the majority, including myself, is needs that questioning to be able to identify some of the needs that would be um, some of their unique needs. Like for me, as like a ridiculous amount of shoe storage that is unreasonable, but it's not going away. So we just need to learn how to accommodate it.
Like that, right?
Yeah. Um, okay. So fun question is, what do you see a most common design like mistake, or something that just drives you nuts in design?
Probably, I would say probably a space that's not functional, like
Mm-hmm.
wise, or, when you were building this, did anybody think about lighting, or, you want to read here, or something like that. Um, just functional space. I think that's
Mm-hmm.
one. And yeah, I think the function,
Yeah.
that's the,
Lack of intention in the design
yeah,
from a functionality standpoint.
yeah. And it can go from everything, like let's say, for instance, you're redoing the master bathroom. So, okay,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to put in new cabinets. It's she likes to, you know do her hair, put on her makeup. She wants it. So if you're going to stand in front of the sink doing that, you want to be able to pull out your drawers, pull out your makeup. Where's everything going? Just so accommodating how people are utilizing their space functionally. So that's
Yeah.
important to define. Do you want double sinks? Do you want this? Should we put an outlet down in your drawer, so that you don't have to take your curling iron and plug it in out here? Just all those things. Um, yeah, just all of those things, all of the design specs, if you will.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's really good.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Very cool. Well, your journey is a really fun one. I really like how it started too. It resonates with me because I started in insurance completely by accident. I was actually working at a child care center, and there was just like a crazy amount of weird drama that happened there. So I just wanted to get out
Right.
of that place.
Yeah.
And I took a job as a full-time receptionist at an insurance agency. I mean, I was just trying to pay my rent, and I was 20 years old, and 24 years later, here I am owning an insurance agency. And so it's really funny how like the little jobs, like me just need to be pay my rent, and thought I'd just be a receptionist for a little bit, or you say, well, I want to try furniture sales on, for size, leads you down some really cool paths.
Yeah.
Um, so to kind of tie things up, would you share with us just some of your personal keys to success?
I would say, keys to success. Number one would be building relationships. I think
Mhm.
everything is about a relationship, and
Mhm.
going hand in hand with that would be trust.
Yeah,
So, and I'm sure the same goes for you in your business. If they don't trust you, you're not going to get anywhere.
it's over. Yep.
It's over. So I would say that that's number one, building the relationships. And then, I would say also, I would say probably, the creativity, that's like we talked about, being creative and working with each style, and,
Yeah.
developing a space that they're going to love, you know,
Mhm.
and be about them and not about me. That's what I always say. This is
Yeah.
about me. I will hold your
Yep.
hand through this. I will make it,
Yeah.
but this is about you. So I would say that. I would say, we talked a little bit about organization. I don't think that, I think the key to success here is being organized with all of the details and everything that
Mhm.
here. Um, I think being friendly, I'm from the Midwest, Minnesota,
Yeah.
right? Minnesota nice. So
Yeah.
not
Right.
comfortable being friendly and on the same level with, my clients and my entire team too.
Mm.
I'm the expert in this, but you are the expert, Mr. Plumber, Mr. Electrician, Mr. Carpenter, who, we're all on the same page. We're the same team, and we're going to make this happen.
Yeah.
So just, you know, just having an open mind, and working on the same page as everybody.
Yeah.
or with.
I like that.
Okay. And then I would say that also one of the most important for me, one of the most important keys for me is having a relationship with God. I
Same.
uh, looking to Him for direction, helping me with challenges. We have trials and tribulations. Every business owner has each day. It could be wonderful. We run into challenges all the time. It doesn't matter,
Mhm.
but just helping me through some of those or guiding me. And so I think it's just really important for me, and it's really helped me to
Same.
be in this business.
Yeah. Keeps me sane.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
Well, thank you, ShaRee. It has been a complete pleasure learning more about you and your story, and truly an inspiration. If you would like to learn a little bit more about ShaRee and ShaRee's Decor, all of her contact information and learning a little bit more about her business and what she does will be in the show notes. So don't hesitate to reach out to her. Thank you again, ShaRee.
You so much.